Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Hruby. I'm your host of the Be My Own Boss podcast. We're here today welcoming you at episode 43, where we're going to explain to you how you can forecast your economy, which is, of course, of all of them, the one most important to you. So, welcome. This is based mostly on my experience at more than 20 years of business and investing, and looking at the indicators that tend to change before business conditions change, and to integrate what you hear and see from the leading indicators into what you do to grow your business, whether it's in defiance of a shrinking market or taking advantage of it, or however it fits. But this is a chance for you to become even more independent, both of what people say and of what you experience, and your ability to maintain an optimistic, energetic, I'm my own boss kind of morale as you go into the future. So I look at least a dozen, and I've watched them for years, and they interplay, and it's absolutely fascinating. I thought the last thing I can do is take you guys through the knothole of a lot of indexes. What I want to do today is say that there are really three which will tell you something about almost everyone you talk to, almost every business you call on, and almost every particular circumstance of a client that you are going to be with, expressing an interest in doing some work for that client. It's a pleasure to bring this to you. So I'm calling them the Freelancers' best 3 economic indicators based on my personal experience. They're widely known. This is not secret stuff. This is no hypersonic missile, but it is just as effective at getting you to where you want to go. No video. Yes. Thank you very much. This is called transitioning. I appreciate it. God, it's Tuesday. Okay, welcome. This is the guy, the voice behind the opening panel. Nice to be here with you. Here's the name of this first index is the consumer confidence of the purchasing consumer confidence. Copy. Can't read and talk at the same time. The Consumer Confidence Index, which is absolutely crucial. It measures what everybody in the country, on average, is thinking about their confidence going into the economy of the near future. And this is crucial because every person in business is also a consumer. So this captures everyone as an individual. And then some of them go to work and they make business decisions, but we're all doing it based on where we think the economy is going. You've heard a lot about this. Bunch of wise asses. This is put out by the University of Michigan, and right now it stands at 50.8 and dropping fast, but things turn around, so you just have to take in the facts, get a big head, fill yourself up with this, and then say, here's what I think is happening overall. So these are all inputs. You take them in, and then you use your best business judgment, thinking what you should do about what you know. This one measures everyone as an individual. So whether you meet someone at a place with adult beverages, or a friend, or a gym, or on the street, or in business, or somebody in the back of the car, all of this is measured, and it's absolutely crucial to know whether people are optimistic, pessimistic, and where they see their future going. The second metric is the Purchasing Managers Index. And some of you will probably say, what is this all about? Well, the Purchasing Managers Index measures the posture of everyone in larger corporations in charge of buying the non-HR, non-human resources, meaning plant, equipment, supplies, services, everything that the company needs that's a thing to do its work. So this is a look into business in general, whether they're looking to expand their production, looking to shrink their production, holding still. This measure captures that, and it pairs perfectly with the Consumer Confidence Index, because all the people they employ get the message as to which way the business is looking, and then that's expressed in their consumer confidence. So these two work on each other. This comes from a source called the Institute for Supply Management, which is the professional association for all of the purchasing agents that join it. And then they do a survey each month, and then those surveys are compiled. Right now it stands at 49.8. There's a scale of, I guess it's 1 to 100, but I hope never to see both of those extremes. This is just slightly contracting, which I think is consistent with what we see, people being cautious, business being cautious. They're shrinking back. They don't want to get stuck with a bunch of plant equipment, material, and inventory that they're going to have a hard time unloading at a profit. So this one so far is a little bit competing with the dropping Consumer Confidence Index. So you just have to take it for what it is. You take it in and you factor that. But this will tell you if you sell moving goods that they have to be moved, or materials, or shift them around. This will tell you how things are going kind of within most plants, and you can always look for the ones who are outliers for the better or worse, and then adjust your business judgment for the experience that they're having. The third of these measures is the average weekly hours of production workers, and it comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And this measures how much of a work week workers are actually producing what the company wants. They're not doing unexpected maintenance. They're actually filling out their job. They're not leaving early. And it's 40.2 right now, which I consider to be excellent. You're in trouble when it gets down towards 36, because that means that there's a half a day extra in everyone on the payroll's work week, and that almost always forecasts layoffs, downsizing, and a lot of things we'd probably all rather not discuss. So, however, knowing what that number is when you go into the business locations of new customers or prospective customers is really valuable, because then you might be selling on the upside or the downside and you have to shift what you say, why you pitch your work. If you know that average weekly hours are growing, then you want to talk about how you can fill in. You work quickly with the client. You can do emergency work. You can work nights and weekends, all this great stuff. You're good for peak capacity, good for overflow. You get something coming in, give me a call. I'm ready. I'll drop everything. When business is expanding, an independent contractor is music to their ears, because they can unload this problem and you can do it. Stay in touch. Here's what we need. Do the contract. Get started. Great selling into that. Now, on the other hand, but just as good for you if you're agile, if their weekly hours are going down, you have a different opportunity. You can sell in place of the people that might be leaving or that have left. Maybe their reduction in force has left them without certain skills. Maybe that's you. Maybe you want to let them know you can do this because maybe it'll help them think, consider you in their plans if they have to, if I don't have that whole department, which I think they're going to cut out, they're going to say, but this guy could do this if I needed it in an emergency, and that happens. That happens. You get calls. The guys say, I need something by next week. Can you do it? You want to be prepared at all times to go, yes, glad to do it. Let's talk. So this is a very key determinant of what you're going to say when you're in a sales meeting and how you're going to pitch your services and the kinds of things that you want to emphasize that you can respond to. With that, we come to the end of this list, but I want to talk as well about how what this goes into is improving what I call your best business judgment. And this is the valuable skill that you can manage. It doesn't even take clients. You can read it by staying up to date on business. You can improve it by staying up to date on business, however you learn about it, staying current, learning what other people are going through, attaching it to changes in the economy. And your best business judgment has a lot of dimensions, but economics is one area that are absolutely crucial for developing your business judgment skills. And you'll find that almost everything you do, you're going to be touching a raw nerve someplace, and so you want to do just the right positioning. The economy up and down is not something any of us can really affect. What you want to be able to do is go up and grow, even whether the times are good or bad. It's easy for everybody to get on a happy ice flow and not get out of the water and not be swimming for your life. But you have to be ready for good times and bad times and adjust what you say, adjust what you offer, and adjust what you do. So those are 3 looks at the 3 most important things. A look at consumers' attitudes, a look at inside business, and a look at the plant floor where you are going to be interacting with business. So with that, haven't seen any questions yet, but I want to thank you. If you are watching this later, please put your questions in the comments, and I check them regularly, and we'll move together. If you'd like to see a few more on the list in a future episode, please let me know that. But I want to wish you all good luck. This turbulent economy, the stock market being up 1,000 points today, who knew? You could have guessed it. You just didn't know whether it had a plus or a negative sign. The world is filled with opportunity, and the better your business judgment and the better your economic forecasting, the better you'll do in it. So with that, I'm Mike Hruby, your host. This is the Be My Own Boss podcast. This is episode 43, and we will see you soon. Thank you very much.